Thank you so much for being with us here on KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Jen York. We want to get straight to breaking news. A suspect is dead after an officer-involved shooting in Coeur d'Alene. Police say shots were fired near Pine Grover Drive and Canfield Avenue. This started about 2 hours ago, just a few blocks away from the Silver Lake Mall. KREM 2's Taylor Vito is at that scene right now. Taylor, what can you tell us?
Well, Jen, at this point, we've been here about half an hour or so, and during that time, we've seen several detectives, different kinds of vehicles showing up. So this investigation really just in its early stages right now. I'm going to step to the side of the camera as my photographer zooms in so you can get a sense of what we're looking at. Behind what you're looking at now, this is the intersection of Canfield and Pine Grove, as you mentioned, west of the Silver Lake Mall here in Coeur d'Alene. The suspect's body is still on scene. We can't see it from this vantage. It's covered by a sheet, but it's behind this pickup truck hauling this mobile command center. Again, it's sitting not directly in the middle of the intersection, but it is on that road. Now, as you were touching on there, it was around 9:50 this morning when police say they received a call of a disorderly man who was acting erratic and was acting aggressively. They say that man was armed with a knife. When Coeur d'Alene police officers responded, they said the man was being uncooperative. He did not respond to commands to drop the knife. At that point, police say they tried several non-lethal measures to get the suspect to comply. Those included using a taser and what they described as bean bags, so presumably a bean bag gun to get that man to comply. He did not, though. At this point, we don't know the specifics of how it all played out from there, but Coeur d'Alene police confirmed that they were forced to use deadly force and shot that suspect. Again, he is dead. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office is also involved in this shooting, we're told. As a result of that, Post Falls Police are the lead agency. At this point, all we know about the suspect is that he is a man. He was in his late 20s. Police are calling this an isolated incident. They say there is no threat to the neighborhood or the greater area at this point. However, this intersection here, these couple blocks of Canfield, will be blocked off for the foreseeable future. So at this point, they're asking drivers to avoid the area. Jen?
All right, Taylor, thank you so much for that live report. You can track updates on this story right now on KREM.com. You can also find that information on the new KREM 2 mobile app. We are also tracking breaking news from the East Coast. This is a live look at Jacksonville, Florida, as Hurricane Dorian is moving closer to the U.S. than ever before. It is slowly trudging up the East Coast toward the Carolinas. At last check, it was more than 100 miles from Jacksonville, but as you can see from this live image right now, a heavy surf there, a strong storm surge, high winds, and rain in that area. Right now, Dorian is a Category 2 hurricane with 105-mile-per-hour winds. Some areas of Florida and Georgia are already experiencing flooding, and thousands of people are without power. Leaders continue to warn of life-threatening storm surge and winds over the next several days. Schools and government offices in that area will remain closed until further notice. And today at noon, we're getting a better idea of the widespread devastation in the Bahamas. Dorian hit that area as a Category 5 hurricane. The hurricane battered the Bahamas for 48 hours straight. It even set the record for the slowest moving major Atlantic hurricane in a 24-hour period. Right now, the death toll is 7, but as the emergency response continues, that number is expected to rise. CBS reports thousands of homes there are damaged. Now, we do want to bring in Evan Irani here. Evan, you have been tracking this storm for several days. What are we looking at here at the noon hour?
So it looks like this storm is really just nearing the Carolinas. That's where its main path is as we speak. It's about a little over 100 miles away from about Jacksonville, but moving with sustained winds at 105 miles an hour, a little bit faster than yesterday when it was just about stationary over the Bahamas and moving toward Florida. So we're starting to see it move up the coast, and you can see from those plots on your screen where its expected trajectory is and that is right over the Charleston and Wilmington area, so right over South Carolina and North Carolina, where the eye could make landfall. So that's important to note, is that eye could make landfall around the Carolinas, although even without it doing so, it's still providing plenty of extreme storm surge and wind around the area. Now, here locally, we're dealing with quite the opposite of a situation. We've got completely dry skies around the northwest, sunny blue skies with warm temperatures. We're going to make it to about 83 degrees for the afternoon high. You can see right now we're at about 74 degrees, so it's going to take another couple hours before we see that afternoon high, and then quickly cooling down to about the mid-50s overnight. On satellite radar, staying clear, staying dry, but we're expecting this picture to look a lot different going into about your Thursday night and into Friday. We'll be talking more about what to expect as the rest of the week goes on and as we shift toward more of a cooler and unsettled weather pattern, Jen.
All right, Evan, thank you. Today, crews are responding to a fire burning 5 miles northeast of Winthrop in Okanogan County. Washington DNR leaders say the Big Valley fire is about 10 acres in size. Highway 20 was closed briefly for that fire yesterday, but has since reopened. There is no word yet on how that fire started. An Okanogan County firefighter is in a medically induced coma today after suffering burns to more than half of his body. We first told you about this story on Monday. He is at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Doctors are attempting to stabilize him before performing skin graft surgery. But now you can help his family. The Okanogan County Fire District established a fund to help cover expenses. Donations are being accepted at North Cascades Bank. The address is there on your screen. A separate GoFundMe account has already raised thousands of dollars for his family. A 19-year-old Spokane man fell to his death in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness. That is about 25 miles north of Cle Elum. Friends say he left Friday for a solo hike and did not return. Authorities later found his body after an apparent fall at the base of Three Queens. A GoFundMe account has raised nearly $15,000 for that man's family. Deputies say there is no longer a threat to homeowners in Grangeville. This is after an overnight manhunt for an armed suspect. Deputies prompted homeowners to lock their doors. Deputies posted to Facebook they arrested the suspect this morning. They did not reveal any other details about that arrest. Western Washington teenagers are facing criminal charges today after police say they posted their crime on YouTube. Snohomish officers say the teens filmed themselves swimming in a city water tower. Police in Snohomish say the suspects hopped a 9-foot fence and then scaled the 80-foot tower to get inside. City leaders say the water is not contaminated. It is 12:07 now, and one of Spokane's most notable landmarks is getting an upgrade. It has been years in the making. We are giving you a sneak peek at the new U.S. Pavilion before its grand opening this weekend.